Before we dive in, just a heads up, viewer discretion is seriously advised. Nothing here is twisted or blown out of proportion. These are the real deal statements made by the prosecution, defense, and Cassie Ventura herself straight. From federal court on May 13th through 16th, 2025, some words had to be censored to follow YouTube's rules. But the truth is all here. What you're about to hear is a voiceover of the full raw testimony from the Sean Diddy Comam's trial, reported by Inner City Press on X.com. Every person mentioned is innocent until proven guilty, period. So listen closely, because this is Cassie Ventura's full courtroom testimony laid out from start to finish.
The government calls Cassie Ventura. How old are you?
38.
What is your work?
Musician and entertainer.
How long were you with Sean?
10 years.
Did you get in arguments?
Yes, it would result in dragging.
What else did he do?
Me in the head, if I was down.
How frequently was he?
Too frequently, I would get black eyes. And let me show you a video.
Where is this?
The Intercontinental in Los Angeles. It was after a freak-off.
What does that entail?
The hiring of Vanessa setting it up.
How did you feel when he first asked for it?
Confused, nervous. I wanted to make him happy.
Did you agree to one when he first proposed it?
Yes, then there were more. It wasn't something I wanted to do, at least not that frequently. I didn't know what no could turn into.
What do you mean making him angry? What were you afraid would happen if you said no?
That he had materials?
What did you give the government laptops?
I've handed up GXB.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, I've reviewed this drive. It has communication and documents pertaining to Mr. Combs.
Did you review photos on it?
Yes.
What's this photo?
Me in 2004 with Carrie Morgan.
When did you sign with Bad Boy Records?
2006. It was a 10-album deal.
Did you release any after late 2006?
Number.
Who's in this photo?
Kim Porter. She was Sean's ex from before me and the mother of his children.
Where did you celebrate your birthday?
In this photo in Las Vegas. Carrie Morgan was there too. We're out on his patio on my 21st birthday vase. What happened then? Sean kissed me in the bathroom. I ran back to my hotel. I told Carrie, when you got back to New York, I'd visit him at the Trump Hotel in Columbus Circle. His apartment was being renovated.
What were you doing with your music career?
Trying to come up with a concept. Sean called all of the shots.
What is the age difference between you and Sean?
17 years.
How did you feel when Sean invited you to hotels?
Nervous, excited, like we were going to talk about music. He introduced me to I Didn't Understand It.
Did you visit Sean in Miami?
Yes, I went with Carrie Morgan in Dallas, Austin.
What did you and Sean do together in He Gave Me Blue Doll on a boat? Had you once before taken unintentionally?
Yes.
How did you take it unintentionally?
It was in Gatorade.
When you took it intentionally with Sean, how did it feel like rolling at the time? What did you think that we were spending a lot of time together?
I thought we were monogamous.
Was it made public?
Number I was his artist, also his family, his children.
Who was linked to him publicly?
Kim Porter.
How did Sean treat you at this time?
We had fun.
What was his lifestyle like?
He had all these assistants. He could get things done. He traveled quite a bit.
What's this photo?
Sean and I at a strip club in New York, like 2007 or 2008 Halloween.
How did Sean's moods vary day to day? When it swung, could you describe it?
Anger, zoning out. How did it impact you greatly? The next thing I knew, I was getting hit in the face. There was also psychological. He'd tell me to watch my mouth, change my face.
How would he keep tabs on you?
We didn't live far apart. He'd send security to come find me. Or a trusted assistant like who David James, Christina Carorum was your relationship exclusive number.
Did you see other men?
Yes.
Did Sean see other women?
Yes. He said, I am Puff Daddy. I was insanely jealous.
Did you move to LA with him?
Yes. He wanted to be close to his kids who were there. Where did you live in LA? 875 Comstock Avenue.
How tall was the building?
No more than 17 floors.
Where did Sean live?
200 South Mapleton. Sean would use a golf cart to get back and forth.
Who paid your rent in Lyon except when I had the house in Studio City?
Why'd you pay then? I could afford it then, and I wanted to have some control. It was accepted by whom? Sean. How many songs did you write while with Sean? Hundreds. Most were never released. Some got leaked on the internet, some on mixtapes. How many albums on your deal were not released?
9.
Did you get paid for them? Number the freak-offs became a job. There was no time to do anything else but do them, then try to recover. How much time in your week would freak-offs take? The longest was 4 days. Significant periods of time.
Court activity. At this moment, they took a break, but then continued.
Who was your manager at Bad Boy Records?
James Cruz. What did he tell you? That he was managing me with one hand tied behind his back. He had to check everything with Sean.
How did you make money if your records weren't being released?
I did hosting parties when Sean approved them.
What comments did Sean make about your physical appearance?
That I looked too Mexican with my hair like that. How did he like your nails? White French tipped hair? It varied. I shaved my head in 2009. Your body. He told me to work out, prepare for the freak-offs.
How did you feel about his comments?
It varied.
What else did Sean pay for cars? Did he give you cash?
Yes, but he would take things away depending on how he felt.
What else would he take away?
My self-confidence.
Who would take things away?
Staff?
I assume staff.
At this point, there was an objection by the defense. Then the judge said to disregard the last answer.
Who took your laptop and phone security?
How long would they be gone for? However long I was being punished for.
How often were you in contact with Shah's staff?
Daily.
Who are in these photos?
Christina Carorum and Miss Fletcher.
What did you call Miss Carorum?
KK. And who's this D-Rock? He was Sean's security. How frequently were you in Sean's residences? All the time. Did they all have safes? Yes. What did you observe in them? Cash, jewelry, cameras, and videotapes in New York, LA, Miami, and Alpine, New Jersey.
Do you recall an incident between Sean and Shugay Knight?
Yes, we were having a freak-off in Louisiana. Dro came in and said SG was down at a diner. Sean drove over there. What was your reaction? I cried. Said, don't do something stupid. Were you ever handed a yes? We were going to a club in downtown LA. We'd taken mushrooms. I was high. I was told to put the gun in my bag. I was freaking out. Who was present? A driver security and Sean. Another time I saw them get dressed and grab and leave in an SUV. How long were they gone? 30 or 40 minutes? Let me switch topics.
How soon into the relationship did Sean mention to you? First 6 months or a year? How old were you?
22. Why did you agree to try to freak off? Good question. I wanted to make him happy. Where was the first freak off? One of his homes in Los Angeles? Who is this? The first escort. Do you know his name number? I'll call him the first escort. Were you aware he was paid? Yes. To dance and to have with me. What did you take seeing alcohol before things started? Did you disguise your appearance? Sean said we would disguise ourselves. I wore a masquerade mask. What was a session and a freak off until the escort finished? How many sessions with the first escort? At least 2. How did you feel? I was high, so I didn't feel much dirty and confusion and that he was happy with me. Why did you feel you couldn't say no? I didn't want to make him angry or upset after. He'd shared this part of himself with me.
How frequent did the freak-offs become?
Weekly for a consistent amount of years. When was your last one? 2017, 2018. How long were you awake during the freak-offs? I never slept. I took drugs. Do you recall all of the freak-offs? That would be impossible. Did you want to stop? Yes. I was humiliated. I didn't have those words then. I couldn't talk to anyone about it. Did you tell him you didn't want to?
Yes.
I brought it up gently. I didn't want him to just do it with someone else. Were you able to express your concerns to him at this moment?
The defense objected to the question, and the judge told the prosecutor to rephrase his question.
Why would you talk to him gently?
I didn't want him to be angry.
What is this email between me and Sean? What did you call him?
Pop, pop, pop. Why? He asked me what I called my grandfather. I did it, but now I think it was disrespectful. What did you write? I really need to. Why did you write that? Because I wanted to be with him. I'll read Sean's messages. You read yours? You don't want to do anymore. I'm so predictable. What did you think this meant? That he knew I didn't want to do the freak-offs anymore. But then I backpedaled. Why? To not make him angry. He could be violent. Where'd you get your outfit? Pleasure, chest elsewhere. Did you get piercings? Yes. Sean came with me.
Which of his homes did you have freak-offs in Miami, New York? What other homes?
My home's all but Studio City.
In what other cities?
Atlanta, Izza.
In what hotels in New York did you have freak-offs?
Trump Gramercy Intercontinental, 44th Street. Yes. Elsewhere. Mandarin Oriental Fontainebleau. What names were used? Jackie Star. I used Frank Black. What supplies were used for freak-offs? Astroglide baby oil, condoms.
Who brought the supplies?
Security, Sean's assistants.
Which brand of baby oil?
Johnson's.
How was it used?
Sean said, you need to be glistening. Were there freak-offs where you ran out of baby oil?
After this question, the defense objected the question on the ground of it being irrelevant. Then the prosecutor asked this question,
You also mentioned Astrolide.
but was also objected over the same reason. Then the judge asked for a sidebar. After the sidebar, they continued.
We were just talking about Astrolide. How was it used?
Lubricant.
If you ran out, what would you do?
We'd call either staff or the bell desk, give them a tip.
Were the freak-offs lit?
Initially, it was a candle. Strong-smelling Glade. Any other use of candle wax? A few times poured on my body. Who set the temperature of the room? Sean. I was expected to do freak-offs on my period. Did you want to do that number?
Did you want to be on after this question?
The defense objected, giving the reason of asked and answered, but the judge overruled it.
No, I did not want it. How did it feel? It was disgusting. It was too much. I choked. No one could think I wanted it. Why were you choking too much in my mouth? Who else on you? Sean. Did you want Sean to aid on you? I didn't want anyone to aid on me. How often did it happen? Often enough. Which hotel charged the most for damage to the room? The Intercontinental in New York. They redecorated the whole room for ridiculous money. Back to the why didn't you say no? It was obvious. I didn't want to be on the ground being on by two men. Where did you find escorts initially? Craigslist.
At this moment, they took a break, but then continued.
Ms. Ventura, in what cities did you respond to? Ads on Craigslist in New York. Did you respond to ads on Backpage as well?
Yes.
Who directed you to communicate with escorts at this moment?
The defense objected to the question. Then the prosecution asked another question.
Who, if anyone, before being interrupted by another objection due to assuming a fact not in evidence, did you ever reach out to an escort independently?
Number.
Did you ever not use an escort who arrived?
One couldn't perform, so Sean sent him on what was a safe escort, not a cop, and someone who'd not run and tell everyone about their experience with us.
Why not a cop?
I learned this whole situation was not legal.
Before Cassie could finish her answer, the defense objected, and the judge said the jury will disregard that answer.
How did Cash get their security? Or he brought it himself? The escort? Dave, do you know his real name?
Clayton Howard.
Who is this photo shown to witness?
Daniel, what service did you use? A dancer service.
Do you recognize Jules?
Yes.
In what cities did you have freak-offs with? Jules, New York, Los Angeles, Vegas. Do you know his last name number? Who's this?
I knew him as the Punisher. Did you use it every freak-off? Yes. I need to disassociate and become emotionless. Who else used freak-offs? Sean did sometimes the escort.
What other did you use?
Special KGHB mushrooms. I'll read Sean's parts of this email. You read yours. When should I take the thing? When will you be there? Pausing. You there?
What did you mean?
I took mine. I'm flying.
What does he mean?
He's high.
Why did you take more?
To not be present with the experience.
Why?
Because it was something I hated.
How did you react to an MDA? It could make me vomit. What would he say to continue? Did you want to continue to have when you wanted to vomit?
Number.
How does G make you feel drunk?
Tipsy makes my heart race. I'm not a huge fan. The walls come alive.
After that answer, they took a break, but then returned and continued when ran out.
How did you know who to reach out to?
Sean would tell me during the session.
How would you know to move to the next step?
Sean, what would happen after the escort on you? Sean would want a body in the next room. Did you do that? I did.
Where usually did you want to do that?
Number.
How did you feel?
I was an object being heavily objectified by men. Were some sessions recorded on your devices because they were there? If you saw them on your device, what would you do? I would delete them. Why? They were disgusting. I never wanted anyone to see them. Were Shaw's devices used sometimes? Yes. I asked him to delete them. Did he? I don't know.
Did you ever leave a freak off before it was over?
Yes. At the Century City Intercontinental. I finally had a premiere coming up and I didn't want to mess it up. But Sean, me. At what point did Sean hit you between sessions? What happened next? I got to the elevator. Next thing I knew, I was to the ground. Who threw you down, Sean? He grabbed me by my neck and my hoodie. Let me show you the video.
What are you doing trying to use the hotel phone? What is Sean doing? Taking my phone and my bag. Ms. Ventura, I just handed you 2 drives. What is on them? GX8 messages and photos from my devices. Yesterday, you testified about Sean going armed to look for Sug Knight. Sean took guns with him and he told you to ask the escorts if they were cops. I would begin by saying I was not a cop. Sean told you to do that?
Yes.
What happened when you fought back?
I did that more earlier in the relationship. It would make him more violent. Want to push me harder at this moment?
The defense objected on ground of speculation, but was overruled.
How would Sean react if you fought back anger? I'm going to show you the Law Intercontinental hallway again. Play from 143 to 146. Who enters Sean? What's in his hand?
He doesn't appear to have anything.
Play to 159 now. Anything in his hand?
My phone.
How did he get it?
Well, he took all of my stuff.
Where does he end up?
Sitting in a chair in front of the window.
What are you doing?
I'm walking away from him now.
Who's in the video?
Me and security in this one play from 5:31. Where did you go from the hotel? I took an Uber.
Now let's turn to text messages. Can you read page 4? Please call. I'm surrounded. Who sent that from Sean?
He was running around in a towel. I told him to put the robe on. Who sent these green messages? I did. I wrote to Sean Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay peace. Who was Jules' escort? Is this Jules? Yes. B606 and 607 side by side. That's me. A selfie of me with a fat lip. When did you take it? In the Uber with one of my phones. What did you write here? I said, please stay away from me.
And what does he say?
He says, I'm getting arrested.
Was he?
I don't think so.
What did you write back?
Plugging my phone in and going to bed. Who was at your home when you got there? Carrie Morgan. She was upset when she saw me. She called the police. Did you speak with them? Yes, but I didn't say who I was talking about and they left.
Why?
I wasn't ready? Did Sean try to come to your apartment? Yes, he was banging. That was pretty normal from him, but this is a pretty private building. Did you hear from Miss Coram that day? Yes, and I went to see Drock and his wife to try to feel safe in this photo. What are you wearing? A gown and sunglasses. I had a black eye.
What if any other ing was visible?
I had several S on my leg, but I changed clothes. What's this? Me and Sean at the after party. I'm going to show you escorts. Do you know the name of this person? Number. In what cities did you use him? New York. Who's this? Islander? He was on Latin Men. We used him in LA and maybe Vegas. Who's this? 2. A 616. We called him Tommy. Who is this? I know him as Greg, an escort in Miami. Who's this? Jonathan. We saw him in Miami. Who's this red baseball cap backwards? I don't know. He looks familiar from the freak-offs. What did you write here? This is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something. What did you mean by this is all we do freak-offs? Did you try to avoid anything? In the freak-offs, I tried to avoid kissing. It seems too intimate, but Sean told me to do it, to kiss the escorts. What did Sean ask you to do on your 29th birthday? A freak-off. He had me pulled out of the Blind Dragon for the freak-off security.
What about blackmail material? He wanted me to fear at this moment.
The defense objected, but was overruled.
When would Sean mention the freak-off videos to hurt me?
One time, I was dating someone else, and he threatened to release the freak-off videos. I'd have to answer to my mother. It's horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone.
What did Sean say the impact would be?
Shame.
Let me show you a chat. And who's on it? Me and Sean. July 22nd, 2013. Read your message.
I wrote, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your devices. He said no. iCloud all good. Ambient kicking in.
At this point, the prosecution requested a sidebar, and the judge then called for a break to change some things in the courtroom. During the break, Combs was seen sitting at the defense table speaking with his lawyer, Xavier Donaldson. After that, the prosecution stated there were issues with the privacy screens and said they would put that off and do something else now.
I offer more exhibits. What did you say here?
I'd been told there was a explicit video out there about me. I reached out to Sean. Then what? We were driving back to NYC from Atlantic City to talk to this DJ.
Who? Kid, did that happen at a restaurant? What was security's role?
To intimidate. They were lining the room. Who was there? Uncle Paulie, James Cruz. How would you recover from a freak-off? I'd take I wanted. To feel numb. We'd get massages, IV fluids. The chef would cook us something. How often did you take after freak-offs? Often I got urinary tract infections.
Were the UTI painful?
Very antibacterials didn't work anymore.
How did it feel during freak-offs burning?
I would not advise it.
Let's read this out loud. I have all these sores on my tongue. I have another UTI. What sores? Friction in my mouth. From what orals? You said another UTI. Then sad face emoji. I was open with him about them. So, you feel sick. Why are you sorry?
I took the blame for things.
Which escort would go to S clubs with you and Sean Jules? The escort from the Intercontinental in LA?
Yes.
Did you want to have sex with Jules ever?
No, but I knew him.
Why did you do it?
Sean. Who was present when Sean put his hands on you at freak-offs? Sometimes the escort was there too. In the same room? Yes. Jules?
And in the suite?
Yes.
Were they aware at this moment?
Yes.
The defense objected, but was overruled.
The escorts would ask me if I was okay afterward.
In what cities did he put his hands on you?
New York, Los Angeles, Miami.
How frequently?
Too frequently.
What's the Abbey? A gay club in LA. I went there with my friend. Where were you going? To a music festival in Canada run by Drake. Sean came to my home and tried to attack me. I was thrown into the bed frame. What's this? A photo of my eye afterward. Who took you to the doctor? Drock. Did you send this photo to Sean?
Yes, and I wrote, so you can remember. I wanted him to be sorry about it, at least in this photo. Where were you? One in the green room in Toronto. I put my hair over my eye. Then we went to the Hamptons. Sean wanted to have a freak off in the Hamptons. We got a hotel and an escort. Which one? Dave. I took GB. I went into a G-hole and blacked out. I woke up in the shower. Dave and Sean were freaking out. I bugged out. It wasn't pretty. Then what? I spoke to a friend of Shaw's and then we had a freak off. What's this? My eyebrow healed. Up a little bit. A week later, I have a permanent scar on my eyebrow. What's this? Me at the Cannes Festival. What happened at Cannes? Sean accused me of taking from his boat. He threw me off, but my passport was still on the boat.
And you were on the red carpet that same night?
Yes.
Did you attend the movie?
Yes.
How did you get back to New York on a commercial flight?
I traded my seat to get away, but he traded to get next to me.
What did he show you?
Freak-off videos. He played them for me on one of his laptops. He said he'd release them. How did you feel trapped when you landed in New York? What did you do? We went to a dinner. Then he wanted to have a freak-off, so we had a freak-off. Why did you do it? To make him not me? Let's read these. From June 13th, 2013. Had Sean been violent with you before this? Yes.
Had you told him before you didn't want to do freak-offs?
Yes. You said you needed gigabytes? Yes. And that 2 escorts weren't available? I wrote only Paul available, or Jake the white guy, but he can't do until 11. The other guy can do earlier. It's just one more person knowing our secret.
What did you mean, the freak-offs? What is SLSA Hotel in Hollywood? When would you take Valium before a freak-off?
When I had anxiety, Sean's driver was bringing me the Valium. It was Raheem. I think I have a binder for the court.